Never waste a good crisis. And when it comes to the economic crisis, don't waste it when it can have a very positive impact.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
The way we're going to win over the long term is not just militarily. We've got to win over hearts and minds. And what that means is we've got to invest in countries that have no educational infrastructure, have no means for young people to get ahead. We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
Stay tuned for politics and religion. This story comes to us today. China's military launches long-range war games. China's military launched war games today aimed at deploying forces at long distances, reflecting moves to ensure security in the restive western regions of Tibet and Xinjiang. The exercises will send 50,000 armored troops, the People's Liberation Army's largest ever tactical military exercise, to unfamiliar areas far from their bases for 2 months of live fire drills, state media reported. Now, why would this be important to you and to me? Well, the Bible prophesies that an army of 200 million will participate in a war soon that will kill 1/3 of mankind. We don't know who that is for certain. There are 3 entities on earth that could field 200 million soldiers: China, the Islamic people, and India. China and India 45 years ago had a short war over some of their shared and disputed territory. So that's definitely a part of the world to watch. The Islamic area, the Bible says this war will emanate from the Euphrates River, a totally Islamic river. Could it be that all of the above will end up in World War III? The result will be the killing of 1/3 of mankind, 2.2 billion people. So it will be a world war. Anytime we see China expanding and extending its military influence, it gives us very sober pause. Since we do have this prophecy, and since Mao Zedong boasted in his diary of the exact amount of soldiers, he claimed that he could put 200 million soldiers on the battlefield, and that was several years ago. The CIA fact book of 2004 says that China has 215 million men of military age now. So the prophecy was written 2,000 years ago when the total population of the world was around 250 million. What a preposterous prophecy. The whole world, 250 million. And here you're talking about an army of 200 million? Well, we've now lived to see the day when the population has exploded in such a dimension that an army of 200 million is not only available to 1 or 2 powers, but to 3. It's worth noting that the United States could not field an army of 200 million. So it appears the United States will not be the prime mover in this war, according to Revelation chapter number 9, verse number 13 through 21. And particularly verse 15 is where it says that there will be 1/3 of mankind killed. Verse 16 says there will be an army of 200 million. All of it's coming together, of course, all of the conflict that's up and down the Euphrates River. We have 145,000 troops stationed there. Will the United States ultimately be involved? Almost certainly. How do you kill 2.2 billion human beings without involving the firepower of the United States of America? But when we see this of China, I don't see how in the world China cannot be involved either. In particular, since China is the one entity that has actually boasted the exact number that's found in the scriptures. So when we look at this whole thing and we see the expansion of China economically, politically, and most important, militarily, and we understand the conflicts that are setting in our society, the United States of America does not want to lose its predominance as the world's lone superpower. And yet the whole world is predicting that the U.S. is in decline because of our economic position, and that China is in escalation because of its strong economic position plus its massive population. So are we going to sit by and allow China to slip into first place? Most people claim that the 21st century will be the Chinese century, and yet we've got this prophecy of this war that will wipe out 2.3 billion. I mean, if you take out all of China, that's only 1.3 billion. And here we've got this prophecy. But if you put India and China together, where some of this conflict is centered right now, then of course it becomes an all too realistic scenario. The prophecies are coming to pass. Just like the Bible said, it will happen. We just have to make sure that we are eternally ready.
This has been an excerpt of Endtime Ministries' daily talk radio show, Politics and Religion. To view the show in its entirety, visit endtime.com, click the radio tab on the left-hand side, choose the show, and click Watch Video. If your show does not appear in the recent broadcast, click the More Broadcast tab at the bottom, and you can choose by date or show title. Be sure to catch our new television show, End of the Age, on Inspirational Network, August 4th.